Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Aungelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have CashApp, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Hello, mothers and daughters. And I am telling you, today I'm just thinking about just the words that we say out of our mouth. I literally said maybe 90 days ago, man, I need me a travel group. I used to have groups that I would travel with all over the world, and they were from different places. I'm like, I need a travel group. And I said, but I want it to be women. I want it to be women my age and women that can just kind of go freely, kind of work for themselves type of thing where they can take their work along with them. And let me tell you, I called to follow up with a friend, and actually I was gonna call her and I didn't because I was like, maybe she's busy or maybe she's in her country or I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, I called up a friend. She called me, and when I answered, I was at the Sprouts grocery store, but I answered and I was like, hey, Agnes. And she was like, hey, Dawn, I was thinking about you. I found your number. I lost my phone contacts because I got a new phone and nothing transferred because that phone completely shut down. So it locked me out of everything. And I don't know how to back up stuff. So I didn't have anybody's number. She said, but I found a piece of paper from where we all used to travel. And that's how I got your phone number. I was so excited because I had already thought about, hey, what about Agnes? She might want to travel. What about Marie? She might want to travel. I thought about like 5 ladies. One of them, I said it to her when I spoke to her a month ago, and she kind of didn't get back to me, and she didn't refer the person that she said would be interested. So I just was like, okay, that's fine. I took that as then they're not ready, whatever. But I happened to say, wouldn't it be cool if we could do blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'm in. Let's do it. She's like, get Marie on the phone. Let's do it. So as soon as I hung up with her, we talked for a little while. As soon as I hung up with her, I called Marie. Agnes is from Ghana, but lives in Alabama. Marie is from the Ivory Coast, but lives in New York and is getting ready to move to Atlanta. And I was like talking to Marie, and I said, hey, I spoke to Agnes and she said this, we should do that. And she was like, I'm in, let's do it. Do you know that within 24 hours, we had set our first meeting date? We had set our first meeting time. I had already started conjuring up what we should think of for the name of the group, that we should have a name. I'd already thought about what we should put on our t-shirt. We already had a t-shirt in my mind. And I'd already said, let me put my bucket list of all those places that I should have already been to since 2020. But because of what was going on in the world, I didn't get a chance to go. But, now an opportunity may open up. So we had our first meeting last Monday or Tuesday. And let me tell you, it was so good. I had an agenda already planned out. I was able to assign, what part you're going to do, what part you're going to do, what part I'm going to do. I've already now today, and it's only been a week since the meeting, I've already sent over, this is what do y'all think about this logo? Everybody, I sent them several samples and they said that, and my son is going to draw the logo because he does a lot of artwork for me. And it has been really awesome. But my point is, be careful what you say because it might show up. It happens to me all the time. I'll say something and then all of a sudden that thing will just show up, or the opportunity will show up. And that's why I like that when you prepare yourself, whether something is happening right then or not, when you prepare yourself and then the thing actually shows up, you don't have to get ready. There's that thing that a lot of people say is, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. And that's how I am with everything. I'm like that with work. I'm like that with leisure play, because, you work hard, you play hard. So I'm like that when I'm working hard. I'm like that when I'm playing hard. I'm like that when I'm planning. I will sit down and plan out a whole scenario of what a company for me should look like if I'm adding something to my business. And I'll add the whole thing on there. I might not even do anything about it. It might be 3 years. For example, I always wanted to do my own clothing design company, but I wanted to do it from a niche perspective. And that niche perspective is from my car culture, my car club, and just the car culture that we have. And in 2018, I started writing down everything that I thought I wanted to do with it, where it could go, what I could design, who I needed to help me. I know I needed somebody to design the looks as far as like the cars that I was going to use on it, the wording to back up the car. For example, I have one where it shows the back part of the car and it looks like it's kind of tooted up a little bit. And the wording on there says, "I like big boots and I cannot lie." Well, on a Mini Cooper, we call the trunk a boot and we call the hood a bonnet. So I said, "I like big boots and I cannot lie." And the butt is just kind of like boom in your face. And I made a sticker out of that, but I also have clothing that has all that on it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. I started in 2018, put the whole idea together, got all of my .com, everything I needed so that when I'm ready, right? I wasn't ready then. It was just an idea. In 2019, I started talking to people who sew that could do prototypes for me. I started talking to sewing houses. I started looking for where I could get my own custom fabric from. I started looking into how can I make t-shirts. I started looking into what kind of funny and fun phrases I could do and how I could sell those on just about anything. We're talking mugs, we're talking koozies, we're talking t-shirts, we're talking dresses, we're talking pants, we're talking nightgowns, we're talking pajama sets, everything. And so in order to mass produce that, you have to have a sewing house. You have to have the prototype to show them this is what I'm trying to make in small, in extra small, all the way up to 6X. These are the items that I need because I'm going to sell, for example, these pajamas during Christmas time, which I'm very excited about this Christmas because my pajama sets will be being sold and we're going to start with that in October. But I'm really excited about it. But just looking into everything that I could find in the US and then what I could find on the outside of the US as well. And so I started thinking about it, talking to people about it, and then just certain little things just kept, showing up. I had people tell me, "Oh, you don't want to do that. It's just too much work involved. It's too complicated. It's too much of a niche and nobody's going to buy it, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like, that's because they don't know my group of people. That's because they don't understand the car culture that I'm in. That's because they don't understand that we will buy. They don't understand that even if it's something as simple as a sticker, we will get it. If we like it, we will get it. There's no questions about it. So I started off first with the idea in 2018, 2019, making some things happen, starting with the t-shirts and the artwork. And then in 2020, 2021, while we were stuck in the house on volunteer house arrest, maybe volunteer, I started coming up with all the other things I wanted, that I was going to do, like duffel bags and purses and earrings and all kinds of things. And so because of what was happening in the world, you couldn't get products in from certain places that you wanted to get them from overseas. So this year, I was talking to Paiton 2 weeks before we went to an event. And I was at an event because I had all the other elements together. It's just that the person that was going to do the proto samples for me, she just disappeared. So I said, if she disappeared, then she's probably not the one that I'm supposed to be using. So about 2 weeks before, I was planning on making some items for an event that I'm going to coming up soon. I said, you know what, I'm going to meet a seamstress that understands my vision, that understands what I'm talking about, that's, understands what I want to do, that is willing to work with me and I can work with them. And I went to an event on the east side of Houston, just like an open market type of thing with vendors and everything. And there the person was. And now that kind of put all the keys back together to unlock all of the desires that I have for what I'm doing with the clothing line. And so now we've made so many different samples. We've made dresses, we've made shirts, we've made purses, like the hobo bags. we've made all kinds of things, and we've got about 20 more things to make. We're talking even pet t-shirts. We made probably over 25, 30 t-shirts already with the different multiple designs and stuff. Again, my son does all my artwork, so kind of makes it easy, because when I got him to do the artwork, it was during a slow time where, they weren't working. Everybody was kind of in the house and just kind of spending their time the way they wanted. So my point is, be careful what you say, because it will show up. So make sure whatever you're talking about is something that you really, really want, and something that you really want to make happen, because it will show up and it will say, okay, I'm here now. What you want to do about it? Because that's what happens with me every single time. So I just wanted to share that with you today, to just be real, very specific in what you want, and be very specific with what your desires are, and be very specific on how you want it, so that nobody will be able to tell you, no, you don't want to do that because it's too expensive, or it doesn't make sense, or nobody's going to buy from you. But that you forge forward and say, I'm going to do this anyway, whether nobody buys it or not. I can still say I did it. So pretty soon in the back of me, you're going to see a mannequin, and the mannequin is going to be wearing my clothing. So you'll be able to see that all of these different designs are coming to life. So don't be shocked when you see all of these things back there. But that's our show for today. Thank you for watching the Mother Daughter Ish podcast. And if you want to support our show, it's $MDI podcast. And on Instagram, it's Mother Daughter Ish _. And we are at 14,500 people right now, and we want to add you to it so you can see what we're posting every day, and you can come over to our YouTube show and watch it. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like, but I also like the comments as well. Bye for now.